Hey guys, WW2 here, and today we're going to be looking at two minifigures. I'm hoping to make this a recurring series where we compare third-party minifigures from two different companies and kind of just see, how they print and how they kind of face up against each other. So today we have one guy who I believe is the Brickmania Panzer Grenadier, and he has STG mag pouches, and then we have this TMC weak figure from the Minifig Co, who has STG mag pouches as well. I felt like these two guys were probably the most similar in comparison that I would be getting for these figures, so let's just jump right into it. Let me get them a little bit, oops. That's something I'm gonna get to later, the helmets. But let's just get them a little bit closer to the camera so that, we can get a nicer look at them. Okay, so if we could get the camera to focus. There we are. Maybe we can heighten the stand by a little more even. Yeah, definitely could. Maybe that's a little too high. I apologize for taking all this time to set up, but just trying to find the best angle for you guys to be able to view them. Okay, so here we go. So starting from the bottom, they have different pants, so I feel like it's a little, invalid to kind of compare them, but both of them have 360-degree printing on the pants. That looks fine. Of course, Brickmania has the Lando and Brickmania logo, and this is more of a, dark gray color, whereas the Minifig Co continues that kind of autumn oak leaf pattern, and they have the TMC logo in there. And so, as you can see, turning it around. So I think right off the bat, what you notice is that on the Brickmania figure, it almost, let's see, it's a little out of focus. On the Brickmania figure, it seems almost a little out of focus, or like the lines are too thick drawn on their minifig. I think when you look at TMC, it's, it feels, let me get a pointer. The lines just feel a little bit more crisp, like you see. Like around the mags especially, I don't know, I just feel like it blends in a little bit with everything because these black lines on the Brickmania one are a little thick. And not that I think that that's wrong, as I'm gonna say right now, just as a disclaimer, that I'm not gonna necessarily give give an opinion on which one I like more. I'm just gonna kind of present them to you and kind of show the differences, and you can make your own informed decision based upon, what you see. But one thing that I will point out that I think I like better is these thinner lines, just because it allows you to give a little bit more detail. Now I'll say the camo pattern's a little different, but they both do a nice job of, making that kind of effect on the actual figure. Let's see, moving up, the collars are about the same. I mean, they're printed on different colored bodies. As you can see, this is a reddish brown, or dark brown, actually, don't know which one it is, but this one is a dark tan. So of course that gives kind of a little bit of a different texture to the actual minifigure. So if you move up, if we're gonna look at the heads, so on the right we have the Brickmania head, on the left we have the TMC head. So as I've said in the past, I think that the main difference between Brickmania and TMC, let's move them a little bit more into the center. The main difference between Brickmania and TMC is that the Minifig Co, I feel like their art style is a little bit more similar to what traditional Legos look like, whereas Brickmania, it's a little bit more stylized. And I think that both of those have pros and cons, and you can decide which one you like more. I mean, I have lots of TMC and Brickmania figures, so I don't think that I'm biased towards one or the other. I think that it just brings something different to, what you're actually seeing. And, it's just, it's something different. I think that's something to consider. Looking at the faces themselves, I think they're both nicely detailed. Of course, the one on the left, which is the TMC face, is one of the random ones that you got, that you could have gotten from their TMC week minifigs. So, I didn't select that. And then of course, the Brickmania figs, you only get one type of head. So for me, in general, I'd say that I like a wider selection of heads. So take that as you will, but that's just my opinion kind of on heads, if you might say. So now if we move on to the figure, onto the helmet, I'll put both of their helmets back on. So one thing I think you'll notice is that if you look at the faces, you can see that the helmet sits a little bit lower on TMC faces, whereas you can see that you see a little bit more of the eyebrows on the Brickmania figure. So, you know, that's just something to consider when you're picking out which one to use. One thing I have noticed is that this TMC helmet, just it fell below my camera stand, but it falls off. Let's see if I can get it. The TMC, let's recenter this. The TMC helmet falls off a lot for me. Now, I personally don't think that that's their fault. That's probably, you know, it's just a Brick Arms helmet. So it's probably a helmet that's just, you know, a little loose or is slightly misshapen. So I don't think that's necessarily their fault, but you know, it's just something to point out. If you look at the helmet artwork, you can see again, Brickmania kind of uses a more stylized, I don't want to call it artistic, but I kind of feel that's what it is. You can see those thick black lines again, as I talked about earlier. But you know, it's just different approaches to these minifigs. So that's kind of just the general view. I hope you kind of got to see, you know, different pieces of the minifig, different features. Of course, this is a very, you know, cursory glance at it. I'm not going to go into every little detail about them because that's what a minifig review for that minifig would be. I will do one on each of these probably in the future, but this one, it's more just comparing, you know, the main things that stand out about each minifigure, or, you know, the things that make them unique. That's kind of what I was looking for. So, you know, I'd love to hear what you guys think of these two minifigures, which one, you know, you think that you like more, which one you think looks better. I'd love to hear them in the comments, kind of your opinions on that. As always, like, comment, subscribe, you know, do all the normal stuff. I appreciate all the support, especially on my recent stop motion. The support was great. I mean, I think we're over 70 likes on that. So that's kind of crazy. That's like 1 in 4 people who viewed it liked it. I mean, that's just astounding to me. But anyways, this has been an MW Bricks video. And I hope you guys have a good day, night, afternoon, you know, just have a good rest of the time of day, wherever you are. I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with me for a little bit.